All right, hello. My name is Mr. Whyzguy, and we're gonna be watching. Well, as you can see, this is my channel, but we're gonna be watching this. We're gonna be doing something different, and we're because like this part was actually kind of sad, and I kind of wanted to throw some thoughts. I had some thoughts while I was listening to this, so let's get into it. So I'm just gonna play it, and then my thoughts will just slowly go into my brain.
Instructing what they believe. And because at one point, like, I mean, I thought the pay gap was real. Like, I mean, not anytime recently, but
Yeah.
you're when you're younger, right?
And this is important.
That's what initially blew it up, was like it would be like red pilling women in real time.
Yeah,
I found it. I found it.
but
The story
also-
is real.
But also dunking on women does well too.
Woman left by her fiance burst into tears as she confesses the one mistake she made. And she basically says that they would get into fights.
My
and
one
then,
mistake is
here,
I
look,
was too good for
the
him.
failure to address the problems caused them to escalate, and ultimately neither was willing to make sacrifices or compromise on their stance. After the relationship ended, Cam realized that she should have been less stubborn and tried to appreciate her partner's viewpoint. And now she's alone.
Dang.
Wow. Like that's just sad.
You lose!
She did lose. She really did. But like that is the saddest thing. Like you get into an argument, but you never hear about this though. That's the reason why I'm bringing this up. No one knows that these things actually happen. And then typically women are like, it's the guy's fault, or they don't go out of their way to make a whole sob story of how it was her fault for why why things didn't end up going the way that it should have gone. And it kind of sucks. And this is I actually have it pulled up in a slightly darker mode because I make everything in dark mode. But a heartbroken woman has revealed that one piece of advice she wished someone had given her before a massive argument led to her fiance breaking off their engagement. That's really sad. Cam was previously in a loving relationship with a partner she thought she would have been with forever. However, the couple kept glossing over little arguments and recurring problems with the hope that they would resolve themselves. The failure to address the problems caused them to escalate, and ultimately neither was willing to make sacrifices or compromises on their stance. After the relationship ended, Cam realized that she should have been less stubborn and tried to approach her partner's viewpoint. That really is kind of sad. The US woman shared her advice in a video, hoping to prevent other people from experiencing a similar loss. If you are in a relationship with someone who you want... Wait, so where's the video? I want to see the video.
If you are in a relationship with someone who you want to be with forever, then please listen to this so you don't make the same mistakes I did and lose that person. No relationship is perfect. Every relationship has its problems, its fights, its issues, and sometimes those are problems that are recurring that have just never been resolved. But like, listen.
Like that's the thing though about these days. Everyone's trying to look for the perfect relationship where you're looking for something that's impossible to have. Everyone is different. Everyone's going to have a slightly different point of view than you. Everyone's going to like there's no such thing as going into a relationship and not getting into at least one fight. If you don't get into a fight, then that's probably a red flag for that relationship continuing on into the long term, because everyone has their differences. There's no way you could go into a relationship with someone and not have at least one or two issues that with the other person. And then maybe you don't get into a fight, but arguments, like if you don't get into a fight, then at least have a couple arguments, which is like a fight, but it's more civilized, I guess. But that's a common thing or an issue that I see in society today. I feel like that's why people are not really getting into like long-term relationships anymore, because they're trying to look for the perfect person, and that's just unachievable. So I'm not saying you should just settle with whatever, but like if you get into like one fight or two fights and then think that, oh, this is bad, this is toxic or whatever, and then leave, if you don't resolve it, then probably leave. But if you if you do end up resolving it, that's progress. Like the more fights you have in the beginning, the less you'll have later on. Because like then both parties know when you're in the what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, and then you guys compromise on things. It's basically a relationship in a nutshell. Compromise. Kind of what do you call it? Sub what's the word? Simple. It's an oversimplification sort of, but like that's basically the point that I'm trying to get across.
Listen to this. If you guys are fighting and you can't figure out like why you can't get on the same page, then this is what you do. Take your feelings and the way you feel you've been hurt and take that and shove it aside. This is not about you right now. Chances are somehow you've hurt your partner too,
and this is for both guys and girls. Like the reason I'm bringing this up because it's actually a girl. She's probably speaking to, well, obviously her gender, but like this is for both sides. That's basically why I'm bringing this up. So it's just nice to just point these little things out because no one really talks about this except for the podcast that I watch. But like, who else is talking about it?
Too, and they want you to hear them and you want them to hear you. So you have to put your feelings aside and you have to actually put yourself into their head. Now, once you're in their head, think of the way.
If you're not able to do that, then relationships for you are just going to be hard for the rest of your life.
That you acted in a situation, something you said, an action you did, and then think about, based on your action, how would they have felt? I want you to really feel it. Like, this is not just like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, I need you to feel it. Feel that emotion. Feel their pain.
All right, so this is editing Whyzguy. Whyzguy in the future. Mr. Whyzguy in the future. She's basically saying to put yourself into their shoes despite how you feel in the moment, which is kind of hard to do these days because of the mental health awareness stuff that we have going on in our culture. So, and the reason why I use the mental health thing that we're talking because like it's supposed to be a good thing, mental health, good thing. We want more about mental health as being a good thing, but it can also be a detriment because in her case, she's basically like you basically have to deny your mental health in sake of the other person's mental health. So basically you have to bottle up your feelings and disregard your emotions for a second and just listen to the other person. And disregarding your emotions, like that's bad for your mental health. You could argue that disregarding your emotions for the sake of another person is not a good thing on your mental health if you keep doing that all the time. But I guess doing it one time, it's fine. It should be fine, I think. But like, that's why I say it's going to be kind of hard for people to do these days because like, we're not prone to do that anymore. We're prone to showing our feelings, letting out our feelings, and not really listening to to the other person. Like a relationship is quite difficult to do. It's a back and forth. You have to give a little and you gotta take a little. And it seems like with this girl that what I'm assuming is that she's been taking a lot and not really been giving a lot. So and when I say giving and taking, she's been taking a lot, mean like she's just been, and listening is the giving part, because like you listening to them is you giving your attention to them. You taking all the time is you trying to is having them basically listen to you all the time. And I guess she didn't realize that until after the breakup, and really sad. It's still really sad.
And if you both do that, then you can finally get in a place where you understand each other's pain and you can make up, you can forgive and you can let go. Because if you cannot do this, those reoccurring issues will keep coming and they will never get resolved, and the anxiety and stress will build and build and build until there's nothing left to give for either of you. Don't let these stupid fights make you lose the thing that you love the most in the world. It's not worth it, I promise. Put your feelings aside, empathize with your partner, and just love them. Literally just love them. Like, Please stop fucking fighting and just love each other.
Okay, that end part was a bit. I kind of disagree. Like I wouldn't agree or disagree with the end part. Like just love, criticize, compromise, and then make up and then move on. But at the end, it sounded like she was just basically like, what do you call it? Like just love them regardless of what's going on. Like I don't. That's what it sounded like to me. Now, it may not sound like that to you, but that's how it sounded like to me. That's just a feeling. You can ignore my feelings. But let's continue. Let's see what else they have to say. Because I like hearing their point of view. Timcast IRL podcast.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I guess that's a big deal for modern
Breaking
women.
news, like woman admits fault.
Yeah, it's a sad story. It happens.
Okay, so that's basically all I have to say about that. And hopefully you'll come watch my videos. Oh, leave a comment though. Comments are really nice.